the ability to grow more with less inputs is another major, spectacular impact of U.S. agriculture and around the world. Moving 88-day corn and 90-day corn and 100-day corn up into the Dakotas and into Canada. I was at a wonderful conference last week in Toronto with Canadian agricultural interests, and the increased production with less inputs, less fertilizer, less pesticides, and moving toward a less intense agricultural system. Whether we talk about words like organic or regenerative or sustainable or resilient or the label du jour, we are substituting at least safer inputs relative to older style chemistry in particular, and are growing things at a rate that can keep up with population growth. This is a great thing. The productivity increases are incredible.
One of the interesting things that happened, we buy farmland in basically large chunks. We at least 50 to $100 million worth of farmland in one tight geographic area. So we really leverage the economies of scale in great growing areas. One of the things that we factor in are what they have to be areas that we can grow organic well and we plan ahead making sure that there's enough compost available. There's compost facilities available to provide the fertility that we need. And when the Ukraine war started, for example, natural gas supplies were impacted. Use natural gas to make synthetic fertilizer, ammonia and ammonia products. And the price of that imported fertilizer tripled over that time. Our cost for compost went basically from $100 a ton to $110 a ton, and then $120 a ton. So
Yeah.
really had a very stable input pricing across those periods, even while there was much more volatility.
The impact of the Ukraine war in terms of world flows on fertilizer were astounding. It was an incredible natural experiment because a lot of the northern hemisphere gets its potash from Canada, for example, and a lot of the southern hemisphere got its potash from Ukraine. And so again, not just ammonia, not just nitrogen, but a rearrangement of where you had to ship a lot of things played out very, very quickly to determine that was a positive thing for the northern hemisphere and for the US in particular in a relative sense, but a bad thing for Brazil in a relative sense in terms of where the cost of that one particular input was coming from.